Welcome back to the desert, everyone. Thank you again so much for joining me. A couple things I want to work on this week. One of them is the monitor mount. Again, I wanted to mount that metal rod to the removable adapter, but I found a place in Phoenix that could make me a metal piece. And then they welded a 14-inch metal rod to it, so I can use that to slip in and out of the arm. It is a little bit loose, so I want to make an adapter or make a little shim. And I had some hobby plywood lying around, so I decided to use some of that to make myself a little shim. I did cut it out. Of course, it ends up being a little bit big, so I just decided to file down the sides to make it fit better. I realized I had two different thicknesses of hobby plywood. So after I made the first shim, I decided to remake it using the thinner piece because it would be less sanding to get the overall thickness correct. If only I could sand this fast in real life. I took off the metal plate so I can better see how it fits together. Also, I figured I could use the metal plate and screw it together to kind of compress the plywood a little bit. Good fit. The screws in there are rather tiny, the screws for the retaining plate. So I looked and they're M4 screws. I had some M4 screws in the garage. So I decided to see if I could put a slightly longer M4 screw in. Of course, it didn't fit. So I did end up buying an M4 tap and a 3.3 millimeter drill bit. And I have since replaced the top two screws with longer M4 screws, just to give me a little bit more support. And I figured the top is going to take the brunt of the torque from holding up the Falcon. So here I'm just gluing the shim onto the metal plate. I use Gorilla Glue in the center, and then just super glue or cyanoacrylate lead around the outside. Nice tight fit. It doesn't need to come in and out many times, but I do want to make it removable, so I don't mind if it's super tight. Decided to do a little bit more work on the hull plating. I noticed that you can't really see the circuitry bay that I spent a lot of time working on, except for through the doorway in the main hold. So I decided, since I was taking off panels and removing things anyway, I decided to add another section to it. So this is the part that's not going to be removable, so I need to put that back on again. And there you go. There's the upper piece, in the upper right-hand corner, right there. That's the piece that I added. So now I just need to screw the plate back in. But I also decided I wanted to remove a small section of the frame. Right above that plate, you can see that there's a double section of frame. I don't really need both sections. There's screws in the bottom one that hold everything together. There's no real reason for the top one to be there. So here I am just cutting that one out as well. And it's just going to give you a little bit more room to see into the circuitry bay. Always take the time, line it up correctly. Much better. Looks good. Panel lines look good. It moves a little bit, but there's going to be a magnet on the upper right-hand section anyway, so it's going to hold it down nicely. Whenever I make a modification, I like to put it on and take it off several times just to make sure that I didn't just put it incorrectly as a fluke, that it is repeatable. Next, working on the port airlock. I just drilled a hole in it before to get a rough location of where I wanted the tube to be, but now I need to actually cut out that whole center section so I can mount the aftermarket center section with the hole in it. I was originally thinking about trying to cut it out very nicely, but it's too thick and too much work. So I went in the garage and I'm going to use the Dremel to just get rid of the entire center section thing. I don't know if I was actually grinding out the center section or melting it out, but either way, it was kind of fun. Ended up with a lot of dough, so I had to get rid of that. But it looks good in the end, I think. Looks good. Nice and smooth. Should accept the new piece rather simply. There you go. Again, the aftermarket kit comes with two pieces. I don't really need both, so I'm just going to do one for now. If after building up the stock one, it looks really bad and looks so much different from the aftermarket one, I'll take it out then. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and do one. Yes, I know that when I showed you the ones before, one was upside down, one's right side up. Don't worry, I did get them sorted. They are correct now, as you can see. They're both right side up. I did go ahead and paint. I painted it a light brown. I think it's a combination of skeleton bone and mummy robes, the colors that I use. I had some panel line darkener in the garage, and I used some of that, but it was really old, so it actually made a mess of most of it. So now basically I'm re-highlighting the panel, and I'll just leave some of the dark messy stuff inside. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect. I am going to repaint the entire outside in insignia white and then weather the entire thing. But for now, I just wanted to have, want it to be similar to what the rest of it is, which is like this. And I think it turned out okay. So now that I had the port airlock done, here are all the parts I need for the internal mount: the balsa section, the carbon fiber tube, the metal rod that I had made, and then the hole in the port airlock. So before, I just did a general location using the stock port airlock for the center location for the angular mount, but now I need to make it fit exactly right. And I have to take into account the amount of flex that the internal mount is going to do as well, because the model is going to be heavy. And it's not a very thick mount, so it doesn't work. So first I want to go ahead and cut the carbon tube. I want to cut it at a 5-degree angle as well to match the slope of the mount on the inside. There's no way to secure the airlock onto the frame. There's no screw holes or anything. It has those 4 little mounting tabs, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Mine, unfortunately, have disappeared for some reason. I don't know what happened to them. So I'm just taping it on for now. I don't want to attach it permanently yet. still have some modifications to do. So just some tape for now. Excellent. Perfect starting point. It's right in the center, which is what I was expecting. So I did measure it correctly. It's good. Now I just have to make it so that it's slightly at the bottom, so that when the metal rod is inserted and the weight of the Falcon pulls up on the internal plate, it'll end up in the center of the mounting hole. So I was debating whether to take a section off the bottom, the flat piece, or whether to sand the internal trough a little bit deeper. I decided to go to the table saw and take off some off the bottom. I took off about 1/8 of an inch initially, and I ended up going back to the garage a couple more times just to take off a little bit more, just to make it a perfect fit. Again, of course, not only do I have to compensate for the movement of the internal mount, but also for the thickness of the carbon fiber that I'm going to be wrapping the balsa wood in. So the center tabs on the mount are curved where they meet the bottom because they were just bent up. So I need to chamfer the sides just slightly where they meet the mount. Especially, they do fit right now, but of course adding carbon fiber, it does need to be chamfered slightly so it fits nicely in there. So after I did the chamfering, I did take it back out into the garage, and I took off some more from the bottom. I wanted it to be in a specific location, about 2 or 3 millimeters, and exactly where you can see it right now. This is just about where I want it. Towards the bottom of the hole, allows movement for up, and as you can see right here, the rod fits inside nicely. So next thing I have to do is wrap that carbon fiber rod and mount in carbon fiber to make it one cohesive unit, and then drill some holes in it to be able to mount it to the internal mount. But looking good so far. As you may have noticed on some of my videos, actually all the videos, you can see the black lines as you can see them moving right now. That has to do with the LED lights. I didn't have them before, and I noticed before I was using a black mat as the backdrop, so I decided to put some black mats down here. I put a little bit on here right now. I did get some more, so hopefully in a couple weeks you'll have bigger black mat videos with no lines. Thanks again for watching.